pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I will call the school board reorganization meeting of District 544 to order. And clerk, will you take roll, please?
Yes. Kirby Anderson.
Here.
Natalie Knudsen.
Here.
Melanie Cole. Present. Matthew Lemke. Missy Hermes here. Stephen Dickinson.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve our agenda?
So moved.
And a second?
Second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. This agenda is approved. Okay, so we are going to be going into our election of officers. So we'll start with election of our chair. So nominations are now in order for the office of chair.
I nominate Natalie Knudsen.
Natalie Knudsen has been nominated. Are there any other nominations for the office of chair? Are there any further nominations for the office of chair? No further nominations for the office of chair. Nominations for the office are closed. Natalie Knudsen is the only candidate nominated for office of chair, and I hereby declare her elected by acclamation and direct the acting chair.
The clerk. To record in the minutes.
Oh, not the clerk though.
No, just to record in the minutes.
I direct the
Yeah,
clerk.
you're directing
I
to,
direct
yes.
the clerk.
Yes.
to record that.
There you go.
Directing me.
Got it?
Got
Okay.
it.
All right, then we will move on to the election of vice chair. Nominations are now in order for the office of vice chairperson.
I nominate Melanie Cole.
Melanie Cole is nominated. Are there any other nominations for the office of vice chairperson? Are there any further nominations for the office of vice chair? There are no further nominations for vice chair. Nominations for the office of vice chair are closed. Melanie Cole is the only candidate nominated for the office of vice chair, and I hereby declare her elected by acclamation and direct the acting clerk to so record in the minutes. Thank you. All right, nominations are now in order for the clerk.
I nominate Missy Hermes for clerk.
Missy Hermes is nominated. Are there any other nominations for the clerk? Are there any other nominations for the clerk? There are no further nominations for clerk. Nominations for the office of clerk are closed. Missy Hermes is the only candidate nominated for the office of clerk, and I hereby declare her elected by acclamation and direct the acting clerk to so record in the minutes. Thank you. Nominations are now in order for the treasurer.
I nominate Kirby Anderson.
Kirby Anderson is nominated. Are there any other nominations for the treasurer? Are there any further nominations for the treasurer? If there are no further nominations for treasurer, nominations for the office of treasurer are closed. Kirby Anderson is the only candidate nominated for the treasurer, and I hereby declare him elected by acclamation and direct the acting clerk so record in the minutes. So we will move on to salary for school board members. Could I get a motion to set the basic salary at $500 a month for board members? Basic salary covers all regular and special school board meetings, work sessions, retreats, 2 committee meetings a month, and the MSBA conference. Certified Contract Negotiations Committee will be paid a stipend of $500 payable once during each contract cycle. The position of chair will receive an additional $100 per month. Any meetings outside of the basic salary conditions will be paid at $25 per hour.
I'll make a motion that the salary for board be increased to $530 per month, but the other remaining stipends and payables for board activities remain the same. 530 is my motion, yes.
Any other discussion on that?
I'll second that.
Discussion on
Who would take it?
that? Hurry.
Mhm.
Any other discussion on that? All in favor of setting the basic salary at $530 a month for board members? Say aye.
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 Those opposed say nay. That is approved. Meeting dates, location, and time. The meeting place will be the Otter Community Room at Kennedy Secondary School. The meeting dates will be on the second and fourth Mondays of the month, starting at 5:15 p.m. The exception is the July meeting on the third Monday of the month only, and December meeting on the second Monday of the month only. Summer meetings will begin at 7:15 a.m. And just a note, there's a school board meeting scheduled for October 14th, 2024, which is Indigenous Peoples' Day. Can I get a motion to set the meeting dates, location, and time as noted above?
So moved.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. That is approved. The mileage rate has been the IRS recognized rate. The new IRS rate is currently at 67 cents per mile, effective January 1st, 2024. Can I get a motion to set the mileage rate at the IRS recognized rate?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed say nay. The mileage rate is approved. Move on to our official newspaper. The Daily Journal has been the official newspaper. Could I get a motion to designate the Daily Journal as ISD 544's official newspaper?
So moved.
Second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed say nay. That is approved. Use of signature scan, be it hereby resolved that the present signature scan shall be used until a new signature scan is available. Can I get a motion to adopt the?
Actually, we don't need that because we have all the same officers.
Alright,
Correct, Renee?
because there's no
I believe so, yep.
officer
Yes.
changes.
There's no
You
officer
do not
changes,
need
we
that.
don't, yeah.
Okay, perfect. You have a resolution authorizing wire transfer. Authorization for wire transfers for the following business office employees: Finance Director Renee Macklett, Finance Officer Mary Clausen, and Accountant Jessica Johnson for payments of sales tax, bonds, K-12 management, and miscellaneous payments as may be required. Payroll Manager Sherry Smith for payroll-related payments, including but not limited to payroll taxes, PERA, TRA, HCSP, etc., and Accounts Receivable Secretary for retiree payments of insurance. Can I get a motion, or could someone offer that resolution?
I'll offer that resolution and move for its approval.
And a second?
A second.
Do I need to do a roll call on that?
I think so.
Yep.
Okay.
Mhm.
Kirby Anderson. Natalie Knutson.
Yes.
Melanie Cole.
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. Stephen Biggess.
Yes.
The resolution is adopted.
Thanks. And we'll move on to designate our depository. FM Bank is our official depository. Can I get a motion to designate FM Bank as the official depository?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
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 I have to recuse from that.
Those opposed say nay. Our depository is approved. We have a resolution authorizing to employ legal counsel, whereas from time to time matters arise which require consultation with legal counsel. Whereas the school board may not have time to meet specifically to hire legal counsel for a particular circumstance that has arisen, and therefore a general authorization to contact legal counsel is necessary. Whereas the school board reserves the right to hire any legal counsel of its choice for any particular matter, now therefore be it resolved by the School Board of Independent School District 544 as follows. That the superintendent or school board chair may be hereby are authorized to contact legal counsel as needs require. Someone offer that resolution?
I will. I'll offer that resolution and move for its adoption.
And a second?
I'll second that.
You take roll, please, Mindy.
Stephen Biggessa.
Yes.
Kirby Anderson.
Yes.
Natalie Knutson.
Yes.
Melanie Cole.
Yes.
Missy Hermes, yes. The resolution is adopted.
Thank you. We have acknowledgement of the participation of the district in the Minnesota School District Liquid Assets Fund. Could I get a motion to acknowledge participation in the Minnesota School District Liquid Assets Fund?
So moved.
Second?
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, say nay. That is approved. Then we will move on to our proposed 2024 committee representatives. So, you guys have the list in front of you here. We have Matt on the Minnesota State High School League, Special Ed Co-op. That's no longer correct.
Won't be until the
It
end
will
of the
be.
school year.
Well, end of the
That's
school
right,
year, okay. Activities will be Melanie Cole for Special Ed Co-op Activities Committee, Kirby Anderson, Matt Lemke, and Stephen Biggessa. And then the Curriculum Review Committee, Steve had asked to maybe do a switch off that committee.
Yeah, if anybody
Possible?
wants to switch for that one, I don't want to be on it anymore.
And that's the third Monday of the month from 5:30 to 7. Then we have the Finance Committee, Matt Lemke, Natalie Knutson, Kirby Anderson, Buildings and Grounds, Natalie Knutson. Policy Committee, Natalie Knutson, Stephen Biggessa, Missy Hermes. Wellness Committee, Natalie Knutson. 544 Education Foundation, Kirby Anderson, and then Staff Development, Missy Hermes. And then Melanie Cole had also talked about possibly adding meet and confer back on here, and she would be willing to be the board representation at those.
So did you want to go back to the staff development
Sure.
committee? It meets on Mondays at 3:40. It meets in the afternoon. It's not an evening class or committee.
My schedule's more open now, so I should be able to, I think that's why I got off of it in the first place, because of the timing, so. If you want to switch with me, fine,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so Steve goes on to staff development,
That's once a month, right?
Correct.
Yeah. Okay.
and then Missy goes back to curriculum review. Okay?
And then add in meet and confer and I'll
For
do that.
Melanie, yes.
And then, do you think, we should have more than one person on building and grounds?
I think it's a pretty big
It's
committee.
huge, yes, I
It's a-
agree.
It covers so much stuff.
Yeah, I was thinking, we frequently have 3 people and I would think Matt would love to be on that committee.
And he's not here, so.
Let's just put them on.
How often does the
That's
buildings and grounds
what I'm
committee
talking
meet?
about.
It's as needed.
Yeah, as needed.
I mean, I could be on.
Yeah.
that. I mean, it's not like I don't know, well, with that committee, I mean, we get so many reports on buildings and grounds anyways from Superintendent Drake and principals and we have our contractors come in.
Hasn't formally met in
Yeah.
quite some time.
What does the committee do, you know, I guess, to be blunt? Is it necessary to have it?
Well, it's an important area for us to give oversight. It probably has languished a bit, but,
Sure.
but so for example, with the potential for building a new elementary school, it could be a, target group for, some of the smaller decision-making, carpet, you know, blah, 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 if the referendum or the bond passes.
Yeah.
Similarly, if there are issues out at Lincoln, the superintendent wants board input, he's got that handy. group as opposed to, convening the whole board, so, but yeah, it
No, it's
really,
fine.
you're right, it hasn't really had, a very active presence lately, but, so, but I think we should keep it, so.
Yeah, if Matt would want to be on that's fine with me. I mean,
So are we having 2 or 3?
I mean, if you wanna be part of it, you can.
I'm suggesting 3 because if it does become,
Yeah.
active, participant group in buildings, that would be good to have a balance of.
Yeah, I'd be fine being on it too.
Okay,
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna be placing. Okay,
Alright,
awesome. Thank you.
Did you want to stay then on policy committee too?
Mhm. And activities. I like those ones.
alright. Can I get a motion to approve the proposed 2024 committee representatives?
So moved.
In a second,
Second?
all in favor say aye.
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 Those
Aye.
opposed say
Aye.
nay. That is approved. Okay, we'll move on to our proposed 2024 negotiation representative assignments. So for certified staff, we have Melanie Cole, Matt Lemke, and Missy Hermes. Principals, we have Kirby Anderson, Matt Lemke, Stephen Vigasa. Secretaries and custodians, Stephen Vigasa, Matt Lemke. District-wide individual contracts, Natalie Knudsen. Title I paras and paraeducators, Steve Vigasa. Special education paraprofessionals, Melanie Cole and Natalie Knudsen. And then food service, Missy Hermes. Can I get a motion to approve those proposed 2024 negotiations?
So moved.
And a second?
I just got a question. Does Matt want to stay on that one as well? Is he
Which-
trying to limit his committee assignments, or is he,
He's not here, so he's not
Yeah.
trying
yeah,
to. Are you talking about principals?
talking about the certified?
Oh, yeah, he's like linchpin.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I was just
And it's
curious.
almost over next year, there won't be, 2024, they'll finish up, there won't be
Right.
meeting any
Yeah, that's
further.
right. It feels like it's every year, because stuff, goes over.
Yeah, we'll go through and reset that committee next year, a year
Yeah.
from today.
Oh,
Yep.
Right.
I'd have to get
They won't
elected, but,
do it until then.
yeah.
So did you second it, Steve?
Oh, yeah, second,
Okay.
yep.
All in favor say aye.
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 Those opposed say nay. That is approved. Okay, then we have our 2024 monthly school board meeting schedule.
We don't have to do anything with that. Very good.
No, that's okay.
And I do anticipate that we'll have a special board meeting in December to approve the board bills, just like we did this year, so we'll.
Sure.
Because the
Oh.
fourth meeting is on the 23rd of December, and so that doesn't quite work either, so we'll probably do one that week before on a 7:15 a.m., so we'll just wait until that time, but just an FYI.
Okay.
Yeah, if we're planning on having a special meeting, is it special anymore? Or should we just wait and see?
Is it special if I bring Christmas cookies again?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Got it.
That makes everything
All
special.
right, can I get a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
And a
Second.
second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. Our special board meeting is adjourned. All right, then we will move into our regular school board meeting of District 544. Clerk, will you call us to order?
You want me to establish a quorum again?
Yep.
Yep.
Okay. Kirby Anderson.
Here.
Natalie Knudsen.
Here.
Melanie Cole.
Here.
Matthew Lemke. Missy Hermes, present. Stephen Vigasa.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
In a second.
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The agenda is approved. We have a resolution on acknowledgements. Thank you to Luane and Beverly Rognus for their generous donation to the Fergus Falls Public Schools. Could someone offer that resolution
I'll offer the resolution and move for its adoption.
in a second?
I'll second.
Missy, will you take roll, please?
Well,
Yes.
Just discussion for a
Yeah,
second?
Oh,
yeah.
discussion.
Can we identify what generous donation we got?
It was an in-kind donation. Do you want me to speak on
Yeah.
behalf of, it
It was
came
in
with a
kind donation,
purchase.
correct, on the purchase of the 29-acre parcel across from the Prairie Wetlands Learning Center.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. Stephen Biggessa,
Yes.
Kirby Anderson.
Yes.
Natalie Knudsen,
Yes.
Melanie Cole.
No.
Missy Hermes, yes. The resolution is adopted.
Thank you. So we'll move on to our reports. We have Kirby Anderson for 544 Education Foundation, Finance and Activities.
The finance committee has not met since our last meeting, our last report, and the activities committee also has not met. The 544 Foundation, we did meet on Thursday, December 14th at noon. Some of the highlights of that, the fall and winter newsletter had been mailed out. The foundation also picked up $1,375 in donations on Give to the Max Day. The major donor newsletter went out just before Christmas. The scholarships were ready to go at that time and have now been in the counseling office as of the first of the year. And the alumni email is in process. One of the unusual and good pieces of information was that a few years ago we had some tax filings that weren't filed quite on time with the IRS, and they gave the foundation a fine of just over $6,000. And so we, a couple of years, about a year and a half, 2 years ago, we appealed to the IRS and put on hold and put off month after month after month, and after about a year and a half, we just received a refund of $6,040. So they forgave that penalty, and so that was some good news. So hard to believe, but the IRS does get money back sometimes. They also approved the foundation acts as a financial agent for several things, including the weight room, community arena, softball field, football turf, Roosevelt gym restoration. They also passed a resolution to do the same thing for the staff wellness fund. So that'll be one more fund that they'll keep track of. And new business, I think January 22nd, we have doubleheader, boys and girls basketball over at the Otter Field House, and so the foundation will be hosting an alumni night that night. And so that's something to put in your calendar, January 22nd. And I believe that is it. Our next meeting will be this Thursday at noon. So Jeff and I are on that committee, so we're going to 10 o'clock and 10:05 Zoom. We will be in. Yeah, if there's any questions, that's my report.
Any questions for Kirby? All right, we'll move on to Melanie Cole, Special Ed Co-op in Region 1.
All right, and I'm gonna throw in contract negotiations as well. We had mediation last week on Wednesday, and we were able to reach a tentative agreement. It's with the Ed Minnesota representatives to convey to their membership and see if they will endorse it. And in summary, it was a total package proposal of 10.83% increase over 2 years of contract. So we are waiting to see if that is going to be approved by the membership, and then if so, we'll have it back for the board. Then as Special Ed Co-op, we had a meeting today, general board meeting, and the December child count was out, and that's the and that's just the annual, very detailed counting of how many students are enrolled. We had an increase in the cooperative from 1,045 students to 1,081 students in 1 year, and that increase of 46 students, don't do the math, Kirby, that are on IEPs. And so, you know what I'm talking about?
Yep.
It's less than 40, but, and then we noted that too, that of the 1,081 students, 571 of those nope, 527 of those are Fergus Falls School District students. So that was the information that was conveyed today. The cooperative is.
Can you say that number again? I'm sorry.
So
For Fergus Falls?
527 out of 1,081. So then what, today we rehired Shannon Erickson for another year of interim. Out of the 13 staff, which we'll cover later in our agenda, that we've hired for special education services with our district, one of the staff has put in the retirement over there. We approved that today. We approved the audit without any fanfare. And then we got an update from the director about all the different initiatives, finding space, right-sizing staff, whatever she's been working on, calling down to the Department of Ed to see about financial split, et cetera, et cetera. So that was special ed co-op today. And then for Region 1, I was gonna get the notes up on my phone, but it was nothing out of the ordinary, just the usual updates on the different programming systems and utilization. And we reviewed the bylaws, and that was about it.
Any questions for Melanie?
All right, thank you.
Thanks. We'll move to Missy Hermes with staff development and policy.
I don't have a policy committee report, but the staff development committee met just a little over an hour ago when we wrapped up. And so a lot of the conversation today was about the next staff development day. Remember, the first, we have 2 during the year, and the first one was December 1st. The next one is going to be March 1st. Now, what's going to take place that year is the part 2 of the cultural competency training that teachers need for renew their license will take place. Also, there's just such a smorgasbord of different topics that are gonna be offered for teachers that, and paraprofessionals are definitely invited to participate in these staff development days. But they're going to have a speaker on artificial intelligence, and for both elementary and teachers in grades 7 through 12. Emotional or positive behavior interventions the teacher's been asking for, English language learners, information for them, literacy, they're talking about what is going to be presented there. But also, there was a speaker, and one of the sessions that is 2 hours long was recommended not just for staff, but also that the school board members are invited to attend too, and that is a trauma-sensitive strategies. So again, that I'll give more, if people are interested in going to that, that's on March 1st, which is a Friday, and it's a 2-hour session. But you can come to any of these and find something worthwhile.
Any questions for Missy? Okay, then my reports are next. Our wellness committee meets tomorrow, and then buildings and grounds has not formally met. More to come on that one. We'll move on to Matt Lemke with the Minnesota State High School League.
Yeah, Minnesota High School League has not met this year. They meet February 1st, their next meeting in person, so nothing to report on them.
Perfect. Steve Bigesaw with curriculum review.
We did not meet in December. The next meeting is next Monday, so you're up, Missy.
Okay, and then we'll move to Superintendent Drake.
Well, good evening, Happy New Year. A few items to cover this evening. First of all, thank you. Some of our high school students put IKEA cabinets together for Habitat for Humanity homes. So I want to do a shout out to them for their work. Again, this is a great example of contributing citizen that is part of our vision for our auto graduates, portrait of a graduate. I wanted to go over during this meeting the results that we received in December on the 3rd through 5th grade elementary school survey. So I want to remind the community that that was done by an independent firm, School Perceptions. Total respondents were 1,459. That was a 16% response rate, which is considered to be a good survey response. And they had a margin of error of plus or minus 2.62%. The respondent age demographics, the top two categories were 65 and older and 35 to 44. And then those were at 30% each. 44 to 64 was 12%, 45 to 54 at 17%, 25 to 34 at 10%, and 18 to 24 at 1%. One of the first questions on the survey is, do you have children attending a school in the district? 48% of survey respondents indicated yes. 52% of survey respondents indicated no. The next question is, would you support closing and selling the Adams and McKinley buildings? This was all residents, 52% yes, 26% said no, and 22% were not sure. Then the question, this part got cut off a little bit, but the question was, would you support a $49.9 million building 3rd through 5th grade elementary? And so the results were broken down into three demographic categories. One was on the left column, staff that are residents. The next middle column is parents that are residents. And then the third column to the right is non-parent, non-staff residents of the district. So as you look at the first row below the headings, definitely yes or probably yes, 65% under staff residents, 60% yes under parent residents, and 43% yes under non-parent, non-staff. Undecided, same categories of demographics, 19%, 15%, and 13%. And then definitely no or probably no, staff residents at 16%, parent residents at 25%, and then non-parent, non-staff residents at 44%. So the essentially what School Perceptions does is they look at the respondents based on demographic categories, and they also take into account the weight of each demographic in your community. And they use that data to come up with a prognostication of would there be support or not support for the referendum if it were to have gone up for a vote. And essentially, based on the survey results and taking those weighted demographics into consideration, the end result fell within the margin for error, simply meaning that if the vote had taken place in mid-November, it was too close to call to say whether it would have passed or not passed. So those are the results of the staff survey that went out. We currently have a review and comment that was submitted to the Minnesota Department of Education in December. And pending a positive review and comment, which we would expect, there is a proposed date for a bond election of May 14th of 2024. Weight room remodel. So this is an exciting project for KSS. There are some photos of how this project has turned out. Just a reminder, we repainted the walls, redid the lighting, so there's a higher amount of lumens in there to really brighten it up. And this is a photo of the new weight room equipment that has been assembled and ready for use. I heard the equipment clanking and the music going today, so I would say that it's fully operational at this point. And then this is the other side. And then there will be a carpet piece that goes in there also for some speed training. Also, was very busy over the winter break. We had our intercom system that was badly in need of replacement. That work took place. I had a conversation with Mike Donahoe late this afternoon. Roosevelt is completely done, and KSS is completely done with the exception of the music office suite, and that will be finished up any day now. So huge improvement on our communications now in both of those buildings. This is also going to link up with our Crisis Go communications. So as an example, if using the Crisis Go app, if you were to put in a code red, that code red would automatically feed into the intercom system, and it would be broadcast not only through the app to mobile devices, cell phones, Chromebooks, laptops, but it's also automatically going to be sent throughout our intercom system. So those two systems are linked together. So feeling really good about that work. Some of the units that were taken out as this system was put on one contiguous communication piece were very serviceable units, and then those were put to use in Cleveland to augment their sound system. And then we also have some things that, some pieces that are left over that actually are compatible with the system that's in the south half of Lincoln that we can use on the north half of that project. The system works just fine out there, and so that will make that project more cost effective. It'll still be a very viable system. It's working fine out there right now. It's only 2 years old. So moving forward, that's going to offer some utility that way as well. Congratulatory note, we have 33 new NHS inductees. They're going to be inducted tonight at 7 p.m. So congratulations to those students up on the screen. I won't go through each of their names, but I have historically considered induction to NHS as the highest honor that is bestowed to a high school student because of the character piece and the academic achievement and then community service. So congratulations to these students on their involvement and the leadership and role modeling that they bring to our school and community. Under student learning, pulled this off. This is Hour of Code campaign in kindergarten. So coding is just a wonderful, what I would consider a higher order thinking skill. It involves logic and reasoning and sequencing. And our own Jesse Thorstead went over, he's the tall man. So he went to the classroom and did that unit. And also had a wonderful time in the kindergarten where a couple other pieces, one right before break was some gingerbread house making. And then the other day I was back over in McKinley and watched a unit that was themed around surgeons and the medical profession, where students were doing some really engaging work with curing broken hearts using their mathematics addition, and then fixing sentence fragments, broken sentences, and tapping out the syllables of a word onto a stethoscope. So really, really cool stuff going on in the classroom. And with that, I'll conclude my report. Entertain any questions.
Any questions for Superintendent Drake? All right, thank you.
Thank you.
So we'll move on to our general consent items. We have our minutes from the December 11th, 2023 school board meeting and December 21st special school board meeting, and then the bills and treasurer's report. Move to Fergus.
Yes, treasurer's report. Currently, our fund balance is sitting at $27.5 million, about $10 million of which is in from debt service. So if you take that out, we're right around $17 million. It was right around $20 million last month. We did have
about $4 or $5 million in expenses this last month that were paid out. The bulk of which were on the first review that we did 2 weeks ago. So Melanie came in early and sat down with Renee and I, and we went through the bills line by line. A couple of the highlights, we had an $18,000 bill for Cassette Electric for redoing some lighting in the gym and the hallway. And, but we did get back almost half of that, $8,640 in rebate. So that was a pretty cost-effective project. Other than that, just a lot of referees, a lot of different things such as that. Some weight room things. I understand you have a meeting coming up this week on the weight room to try and do that. So I think there were some dollars that went through for the weight room, the sound system, and some of those things. So to resolve some of that as far as what's a pass-through and what's not a pass-through. But other than that, food service is still doing well, $721,000 up to $771,000, or $783,000 this month. And community ed is healthy again now, they're up in the $535,000 range. So overall, things are looking good. And thank Renee and Melanie for coming in and going through the bills. That's my report, unless there's questions.
Thank you. Then we'll move on to personnel, and Elaine's been busy.
I have. So I will go through this, but everything is in front of you and it's also in our board minutes and such too. So I'll try to get through it as quickly as I can. Certified staff hires, we have 2 long-term subs. One, Sandy Sunblad, special ed substitute teacher over at Cleveland School for the month of January, and then Alexander Howe, who will be doing a language arts substitute teaching position at IQ Academy during third quarter right now. So those are just the regular certified staff hires, and then we have certified staff hires for our special education program beginning for the 24-25 school year. We have 6 speech language pathologists: Emma Koza, Amy Powers, Emily Nelson, Rachel Ryan, Shelby Sowers, Jennifer Swanson. We have 2 school psychologists: Kendra Fox, Kevin Frank. We have 4 early childhood special education teachers: Sarah Amos, Kari Krein, Amy Juergens, Jessica Ragus. And then we have 2 occupational therapists registered: Kara Johnson and Ashley Johnson. Support staff resignations: Kelly Nelson, accounts receivable associate; Sammy Auni, food service, and Sammy's going to be taking a position a bit later here as a special education paraprofessional, so she had to leave one position to take another. Laura Brewy, food service; Levi Schiller, custodian; and Lily Godin, paraeducator at ALC. She will continue as a long-term substitute though at this time. Support staff hires: Wendy Scheisser, UNR supervisor at Kennedy; Lisa Ecker, special ed paraprofessional; Sammy Auni, special education paraprofessional; Aaron Shea and Jaden Campbell, both food service. 1 4.5 hours, 1 3.5 hours. And so I would request board approval for these personnel changes.
Thank you. Can I get a motion to approve our general consent items?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
Any discussion on them? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say nay. The general consent items are approved. So we will move on to old business, and we are gonna move into a closed session as per Minnesota statute 13D.05 subdivision 3 to wrap up our school board evaluation of Superintendent Drake. Can I get a motion to close the meeting?
So moved.
In a second?
I'll second.
All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Those